cord.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
He's also up to be
Hit
a
it.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Yeah, please.
Let's get this show on the road.
After you get the show going.
Before you say anything, prepare to shut the fuck up.
Screw me. I ripped ass at the ATM.
McLovin! Nice!
Sit back, relax, and enjoy irrelevant platitudes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to episode number 68 of Irrelevant Platitudes. We are your hosts, Peter Benici and Maxine.
Hello.
There's a whole bunch of stuff here that the other guys usually say, but they're not here, so they're not going to say it. We're not going to say it. Welcome to the pod. Tonight was kind of an impromptu cash sesh. Maxine's back. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. You know, we're getting through the week. It's bloody Friday, and who can be happier? Probably someone else.
Well, I feel like this week's been a bit strenuous. Maybe it's something in the air for everyone. I think this week has tested.
It's something in the water.
Everyone in the studio. Yes, good call. But it's been a hectic week for me too. Work's been pretty crazy. I got engaged last week, so that happened.
Congratulations!
Thanks to everyone listening, and thank you very much. Yeah, fucking congratulations to Amy. I love you. That was probably one of the best weekends of my life. And I apologize to Dan if he's listening to the podcast for dealing with me drunk the night before.
If you haven't seen the footage, it's so sweet. She looks so beautiful. Amy looks so happy. Congratulations. We love it.
We're here for it. Sorry, I was just checking audio levels because I'm like, yeah, we should be all right. It's fine. We've tested it. Blue Goat, if you can hear our audio levels being weird, let me know, bruh. But yes, I got engaged doing adult stuff. It's all very surreal still. I haven't still kind of come around to the fact that that's like the first step in adulthood after moving out of the house.
You're going to be a husband.
Husband.
No, you're going to be a wife.
My wife. But I guess, yeah, so to clue everyone in, I brought Max into the studio. So we're going to follow up on how you've been. We're going to follow up on kind of what life's doing at the moment. And we're going to take the pod back to what it was. So it's a free-form conversation about like your shit, my shit, life, and how we think dating is at the moment. Because unfortunately, when I listen to two people in relationships about dating, but we know our shit. I know my shit, and Maxine understands quite a bit of it, and will definitely chime in with the host, because if not, it's going to be a very quiet podcast.
I hear a lot of other shit about other relationships that are not mine.
Yes, agreed. But would you like the fancy little intro that's been prepared for you for the pod for today?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another episode with a twist. Joining me on this side of the table today, it's a round table. Right? Can we get that out there? It's a round table. Is there a side to a round table? There's many sides.
How philosophical do you want to be?
We're thrilled to welcome the one and only Maxine. You've heard her as a guest, marveled at her strength and admired her resilience. Now get ready to experience her in a whole new role. Co-host. Maxine, a force to be reckoned with, which we've heard before, within the sex work industry, isn't just someone who takes life's trials head on. She charges at them with the intensity of a storm. That's a bit much. And that's not all. When she's not redefining her profession, she's pushing her body to the limits in the gym as well as in the bedroom. Am I right, boys? But today, we're hitting the pause button on the hustle and bustle of life. No topics off limits, no preset agenda, just an open, honest dialogue with Maxine as we check in with each other. Feel the pulse of the dating world and generally slow down for a moment because, as we've said, this week's been fucked. Armed with her trademark dark humour, unyielding honesty, which I felt quite profusely before the podcast started, and her extraordinary life experiences, Maxine is not just a guest today, but my partner in conversation. So grab a cup of coffee, but if you're more fun, please put the coffee away and get some alcohol, because we definitely do. Get comfortable to join us, kick back, chat, and get to know us through the unique lens of Maxine. Give her a big, warm welcome in her new role for this week.
I like
Yeah.
it how you said charges into it.
Yeah.
Charges.
Thrust. Would you
Pay
prefer
sex
thrust?
workers for their work. There you go. You charge.
But what's our actually before we? I mean, it's not the first.
Drink of the week.
All right. So we had vodka lime sodas.
We
But
had
yeah, the lovely Liz from last week has provided you with a very special beverage. What do you have?
I have a Fairy Floss triple distilled vodka.
Fucking oath. And I've got the standard White Claw mango because I'm a basic bitch.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it?
I'm trying to understand what Blue Goat is saying, but he said the audio is good.
But
Maxine sounds all right.
Does he want to be my sugar daddy though?
He does, although your anus is hanging loose like the mouth of a sleeping dog. So
My anus.
no, mine's quite tight. I think he thinks mine is, but it's quite tight. But yeah,
Drink. Of
cheers,
the week.
friend.
Oh no, we're gonna do it right.
Good. So to everyone not understanding what the fuck just happened, I explained to Maxine the Italian thing of cheersing, eye contact, and then what? I did it. We already did it.
No.
What?
Drink this.
Oh, it's delicious?
It's
Is it
so
really?
nice.
Liz, I think you did good.
This is the nicest thing I've ever had in my life.
Oh, but is it one that's going to be good for the whole bottle?
It's not going to be good
Yeah.
for diabetes.
Diabetes. Not that diabetes. Yeah, so I forgot what we're talking about. We're talking about you being here, delicious drinks.
And what life has been doing to us.
Yeah, fucking oath. That's
And-
all right. At that point, it'll come back if it's going to come back.
TikToks.
No, more importantly, how are you doing? And how's everyone's favourite boyfie?
I
doing?
feel like the boyfriend is such a
I'm going to bring
point-
this up a little bit because it's giving me
Sorry.
anxiety. Did it slip? If it tips, let me know. It's just dropping, isn't it? That's all right. That's to be fine. You don't have to hold it. Let it drop if it's going to drop.
The boyfriend, which is such a topic that everyone wants to talk about because he's so much more interesting than me.
Well, I feel like that's contrary to the belief, but I feel like you are both interesting people.
He's very good. He is at home now with the babies.
Yeah, true. The cast, right?
Yeah, my babies.
How are they? I didn't even ask you about the cast the whole time you've been here. How are they going?
You know what? You've actually missed out on a really controversial story.
Tell me what is going on. And while you do that, I'm going to adjust that. So can you? Well, yeah, you're good. Go talk about it.
So when I adopted my cat, she had a lump in the bit of her shoulder.
Really?
Yes. And it turns out that before I adopted her, she was shot with a BB gun.
You know what? I did hear this,
Yes.
but
And
has it elevated since?
well, I got it surgically removed at the vet. And it was the most traumatic thing I think I've ever been through in my life, despite everything else.
How long did it take for them to remove the fucking? Was it like an actual shotgun bullet?
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, do you want to keep the bullet? And I was like, yes, I do. So I have it at home. And I'm going to put it in resin and I'm going to have it put into a pendant and have it on a necklace.
I was going to say you definitely need to have that in a necklace. And
Yeah.
can everyone just watching at home? That's the most gangster shit I've ever done in my life. I adjusted the microphone in real time, communicated into your microphone, and I don't think we missed a beat.
And you didn't touch me.
Five.
You didn't touch me.
I didn't. As we've made evidently clear, that apparently when you walk behind someone because in the studio, I don't know if you guys won't see it if you're listening, please watch the video. It's a very precarious, there's no room behind
My
the
ass.
guest. It's a chair, which encases the bum. But some of us need to grab chairs so we don't fall and hurt ourselves.
That's
Thank you
nice.
very much. But it's okay. Next time, you know what? I'll just fall face first and
Yeah, it's fine.
fuck
I don't
myself
care.
up pre-pod.
There is no like hatedness here.
There really isn't. Someone needs to talk to HR about what's going on in this studio. There's definitely is too many cords and not enough space. But not enough space, that sounds like a perfect not segue into the TikToks.
Yo, you about done? TikTok, motherfucker.
I'll be here all week.
This is so nice.
Is it really nice?
It's really
It's
nice.
very sugary for me, to be honest.
Pussy.
Yes. I think that's everyone that's been listening for a long time knows how soft I am. I'm going to make that larger for us. Ready to laugh? If I wasn't hilarious before.
Oh no, I know this.
Do you know this one?
No, I don't know this one, but I know
Okay,
the
the
guy
bottom
down
bit?
the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. It's going to... ready? Here we go.
Do you even know what emotional damage means? Yeah. What does it mean? Basically, when someone hurts how you, what?
Emotional damage.
We're talking.
Is that not the best reference to show that it's not only making people laugh, but teaching children genuinely what emotional damage is?
I wish someone taught me that in school.
You didn't have that, man, did you?
No, I didn't. Nor did I have the internet.
No, I know we're old. We're old.
I think that I was just really poor.
No, I didn't have like a solid connection to the internet until I was in high school.
No, I didn't either. Till I
Yeah.
was like 15.
Yeah, it's because we're not that like. You think it's weird, but it's not. Like the internet at 5 was expensive as fuck.
I mean, I don't think that existed.
It was there.
Really?
It was really expensive. Right, ready for the next one?
Yep.
I'm gonna restart that because we missed the start of it. Oh damn, silenced.
Me, Mario.
It's okay because he's Italian and it's fine. There's no racism
Look
there,
at
guys.
his mustache.
Yeah, dude, it's even the hat. Did the hat have an M on it? It did. The hat had an M on it.
Oh, he knows exactly what he's doing.
He was fun baiting, wasn't he? All right, this is actually quite interesting.
OnlyFans guy. He's actually dropped 1K in one day on me before.
Mad, isn't it?
So he said, yes, goddess, sounds like a fun Friday night. I'd love to pay for it as I sit around home dreaming of...
Stunning. Is that it? Done.
He's typing at the moment. And that's at £150 towards our dinner and drinks. I said, that's not enough. I fancy something else to impress me.
Do you ever say thank you?
Never. They wouldn't like it if you... They thank me for having the opportunity to send me money. They feel privileged to send me money.
Do you ever feel guilty?
No.
Like you ever think, oh, you're worried that he's addicted to this and he could run out of money by to turn his heating on?
No. He's a...
Okay, so this one was supposed to not be funny. I actually wanted to have a chat about this. So this is that, I don't know the official name for it, but is it like, it's like financial slavery or whatever?
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I do relate to this because, you know, if people are stupid enough to pay that kind of money, then they're obviously stupid enough to not get any reward for it.
Oh, look, I wouldn't even, ironically enough, the privilege of being on the podcast and stuff, I've spoken to a few girls that have done this in the past. But part of what it is, right, like similar to how a dude would come in and pay for an experience, like that's the same sort of experience for these guys.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, usually these guys aren't idiots. Like they're going to have heaps of cash to where they can drop that. Like 150 quid is like $300 for a dinner.
Yeah.
They're going to be more than financially equipped to do so. That edge case scenario of like, is the broke guy doing that? No, the broke guy's paying $25 for you fingering yourself on OnlyFans. It's not the financial sex play sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see what it looks like in real time for me. And I was like, I didn't realize it was that quick that you could literally be out to dinner and be like, hey, fuckhead, like pay up, like let's go. And that's, for him, that's like a great night in.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you're dropping $300, I feel like that for you is probably like, he'd probably spend more on a dinner with his mates.
Oh, 100%.
For a business or whatever. But I thought it was so intriguing just to see how the person interacting with it also gets it, but then kind of people around it don't necessarily understand the dynamic.
I mean, when people look at my life.
Right.
And how I do it. They're like, oh my God, this is insane. I'm like, is it though? Like, this is normal.
No, yeah, it's totally normal. The guy's down for it and whatever. And I think, a big part of kind of why I wanted to put this on was just to show that it's actually not that weird, but you need the context of the guy that's across it understands the dynamic.
Yeah.
And I think as long as everyone's consensual and into it, like, fucking, I'll fucking is it not femdom? Is it femdom? No.
I don't think so. I think
it's just financial slavery.
I don't even think it's financial slavery. I just think that it's someone who is willing to pay for a service.
Yeah. Amy, would you be down? That would be the best. We go out to dinner and be like, listen, bitch, I'm taking Amy out to dinner and it's hot and it's fun.
Yeah.
And we're not thinking about you one bit, pay up. I'd love that, dude.
If it's a transactional interaction, then, people they know exactly what they're getting into. So,
right?
Like, that's on them.
All is, what do they say? All's fair in love and war. This is lust and war.
War.
All right. This is fantastic. Prepare yourself. So to everyone listening, it starts with saying that this is an Olympic sport in the Philippines. And if you're not watching this on YouTube and or Spotify, please do. Load, motherfucker. Okay, now my question for you is, on a scale of 1 to I want to stab you in the face, how do you feel about people like that when they go to karaoke?
I hate karaoke.
Yeah, but if you're forced into it, if you lift, it should come up. There we go.
I hate karaoke.
Yeah.
The only thing I can really think of while watching
I really didn't adjust that properly. It's slowly dropping.
The only thing I can really think of while watching this is the Titan submarine.
What do you mean? Because the Titanic. The last horse crosses the line.
All I could think about. That's all I spoke about.
Let's talk about that. Have you heard the whole thing? Have you seen the controller saga? How it was like a $35 Logitech control thing?
That's all I spoke about.
Yeah. Did you hear about the dude that went to court against the company saying, you guys can't do this? It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get...
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, they died probably last week.
They died like 45 minutes into it.
It's the sad meme music. It's fine.
Yeah, no. As soon as they went into that, like the hour and 45 minutes, whatever it was, when they lost contact, they fucking died immediately. Look, I thought it was the funniest thing ever, and I will die on that hill, because if you're stupid enough to pay $250,000 to go and see the Titanic, then you're stupid enough to die in a submarine that is not equipped and is built in someone's backyard.
Wild? The guy did it to his mates.
Like,
so it wasn't
go
random.
watch it on YouTube, you psychopath.
Even James Cameron was like, I did that with a cord attached to my thing.
Yeah, go watch it on YouTube, you psychopath. If I'm going to go down into the middle of the ocean in a Sprite can, I want to have a proper bathroom.
Small.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a hole in the corner where you shit.
I want like some food. I want a meal.
I kind of wish there was like a reality TV based on. I think there'll be heaps of memes based on like what happened in those last few minutes.
There's going to be a Netflix documentary on it.
No shit. And there's a father and son in there?
Yeah. The dude was like, father, and like the son was 17.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
17?
Yeah, I think he was something like that.
Oh, man.
And I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm going to be so inappropriate. It was the only thing I focused on for like an entire week.
No, I think that was very much like that was all that we were getting.
I couldn't. I was so hyper focused on it. I couldn't not.
Someone fixated. But speaking of fixation, are you ready for the next one?
I so am.
So I actually want you, like, when you go home, to actually follow the Yeah Mad TV channel, because I legitimately think you should get yourself in and around this at some point in your life.
Okay.
Why is my internet being a dog? Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay.
Internet. All right.
As a girlfriend.
Start it again.
He has 2 clean fingers.
Oh, really? Hang on. Sorry, guys.
How do you know you want a metallic?
Metallic.
Mechanic has a girlfriend.
How?
He has 2 clean fingers.
Jesus.
So the joke was it was ruined by the terrible timing of that clip. How do you know a mechanic has a girlfriend? He has 2 clean fingers. So the purpose of this show is they do dad jokes, right? And then if you laugh at the dad joke, you have to drink.
I'm not laughing.
No, because it wasn't that good, and she didn't laugh either.
No.
But I purely put this on because you need to start watching this because we're probably going to do something similar in the future. I'm glad you get how it works though. That's good. Good, you've got it.
I can't wait.
All right. This one's for you and understanding the boy at home.
Oh God.
You ready?
I understand enough.
Does can we say boy's name? Does he play Call of
Dude,
Duty?
you've like mentioned his name so many times.
Oh, have I? Okay, yeah. Does Mitch play COD? Call of Duty.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, this is to all girlfriends listening. Please, this is a PSA.
Of guys playing video games, though. If you guys know Warzone, first of all, you get your squad ready. That's 20 minutes. You get into the game. That's 30 minutes. Next thing you know, it's an hour past, and she's like, "You're still on the game." I'm like, "I haven't even loaded in yet." I'm just parachuting out the plane, and she's like, "You're still on the game?" Can we break the stigma of guys?
So the purpose of that was to enlighten the audience as to how much goes into playing games with friends. It takes quite a bit of time before you get your friends all together, and you're ready to go into the game. It could take sometimes, he said half an hour, I'd say close to an hour to get everyone online and in the game. And by the time you're ready to go, you're at like hour 15, hour 20.
See, I'm in 2 minds about this.
Yes.
So if I'm at the gym for a warm-up, perhaps.
Yeah.
A warm-up can take me an hour.
Yeah.
But when I see Mitchell doing whatever it is that he's doing on the computer, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like last night he came to bed at like 2:30 in the morning. I'm like,
hell yeah.
Like, are you like,
It's a good session.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I just don't
living the
understand it. And like,
That's what he's
like
doing.
you know, and like, I'm just like, I can't get that. And at the same time, he absolutely does not understand how it can take me an hour to do a warm up for a squat.
Yeah, but it's the exact same thing. Like to do anything, I guess, properly, right? Because like anyone can do like a deadlift or whatever. You just go into it, whatever. But to fully do it properly with like, you know, maximum effort and all that sort of stuff, that's what it is, like organizing your friends, getting everything to go, and then you're finally in and then you play. You might lose. And no one's going to bed on a loss. So that quick 45-minute game can blow out a couple of hours because you know what? We need a respectable finish before bed because ain't nobody going to bed with a loser. He's doing that for you, okay? He's achieving this. I'll edit that out. Just remind me. Okay, we're going to have to cover this one.
It's been spoiled.
It has been spoiled.
It's fine though.
We got it. Ready?
We should know about you. What's something interesting about you?
I'm not retarded, but I like rocks. I just like how they feel. You know what I'm saying? They feel real good. I got this one. It just feel good.
Is that a rock?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I like this one. I got this outside earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Have you always done that?
Yeah. I just like the way they feel. They just make me go to sleep and shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's something you think we should know?
So that kid is actually going to be one of the biggest comics coming out of the States in the next 2 to 3 years. How do you feel about rocks?
I think that some people that are on the rocks, on whatever, however you take on the rocks, is on a spectrum.
Yeah,
just a spectrum.
He's a bit specky for sure. I wish I knew his
what
name.
spectrum that is.
But that was this week's TikToks. Is he went up, down, left, around. You learned something. You got a bit freaked out. Then we pushed some boundaries. How did you feel about this week's talks?
They were fine. Everything.
Wow.
I learned. Wow. I learned a lot. I'm laughing. I'm crying, and it might change my life.
I think so. And you know what? At the very least, you understand how video games work now.
I have a good understanding how video games work.
Yeah.
You sit there, you jack off. And
No. So you don't.
You
You don't.
You probably do.
You're not playing games while you do that. That's later.
Ooh.
That's the reward. That's the reward for playing well.
No, it's while you're doing it. We
Winners-
spoke about this.
Winners jerk off. But I guess, you know what? Like the real reason people are listening to this podcast is so they can get some cheeky dating and relationships advice.
And all the while, you're just really wondering, are we going to get hopped up enough to make some bad decisions? Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
All right. So I think we're going to start this off the only way that can be started, any dating life story, is with a good gaslighting story, which here at Irrelevant Platitudes, we're trying to reframe that back to just straight up lying. Can you help the audience?
I can.
Maxine? Maxine? I'll edit this heavily.
At this stage, it is what it is. I feel like if you don't know by now, you probably should.
Because on your original episode, I think might have said that.
The first episode, no.
Yeah.
The second one
Yeah.
was Never Have I Ever. And then the third one was Maxine. So
Yeah.
it's like one off.
That's all right. We can keep Maxining.
Whatever it is.
Post-production's a wonderful thing, my friend. You know what it's going to be? It's like I'll say it and be like, Maxine. Every time.
It's fine. It is what it is.
It's fine.
So I cannot help but go past this story. So there was this time not too long ago. I am a gifted improviser.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll
And
let you set the backdrop for this.
I'm so gifted.
I'm so gifted.
And so I had this client come into work who was absolutely hammered drunk. So I did my intro.
My name is Jeff.
I did my intro. He wanted to see me and I was like, yeah, cool. I can see and I can smell that you're drunk. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's like 4:30
Standard?
in the morning.
Okay, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep.
So I put him in the room. He has a shower, I assume. And then I come back up. He's dead asleep.
That's the...
And so I'm like, okay, this is setting it up well. So I go back downstairs. I'm like, hey, he's asleep. So they call up and they're like, hey, wake the fuck up. And so he does. And so I go back upstairs.
Yeah.
And so we talk for a bit.
Yeah.
Do the formalities and he falls asleep.
Yes.
He's booked me for an hour.
My man.
And I set my timer for 20 minutes.
Yes.
And it goes off because like whenever I go into a booking, I always give the thing of like, you know, I've set my timer. It's going to go off kind of right before they're going to call me for shower time. So it gives me a warning so that I know that the booking is almost done so we have a few minutes left.
Yeah. Reframes the whole interaction.
Yeah.
So you're like, yep.
Yeah. And so I say that to him. I don't know if he's hearing. I don't know if he's listening. It is what it is. And so I set my timer for 20 minutes and lo and behold, he falls asleep. My timer goes off. And he's like, oh my God, that hasn't been an hour. And I'm like, oh my God, how drunk are you? Oh my God, how drunk are you? Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
That is, you know, that's totally understandable. If a dude's like a drunken mess and you're in that scenario, let alone the fact that you have to entertain that, like most places would just be like, see you later, dude, you're way too drunk.
Yeah.
There was no gaslighting. There was no lying. All you did was then like send a dude home from just like being weird.
No, I gaslit him.
No, I think you're fine.
Really?
No. There's no gaslighting. You were just like, hey, buddy, you can't manage to stay awake through all of this business, so it's time to go home and go to bed. Do you want me to try and tighten that again? If you turn that, see that none of the bottom bit, the little kind of that. Yeah, turn that. I think it's right. No, maybe it's just too heavy. We're gonna have to figure that out in the future. The Irrelevant Platitudes
Heavy with
studios.
the weight of my sin.
The weight of your evil deeds.
Yeah.
But I've got a little note here saying Leash walking ? Tell the guys about that one. Well, me too, because I haven't heard about this.
Everyone.
How's your little fruit tingly thing going?
It's
getting worse.
It's so nice.
It's so good.
No, it is. I really like it. I have a chronic sweet tooth though. So, anyone listening, I don't care who you are, I'm talking to you.
You dog.
Do not, under any circumstances, catcall someone. That's an entire sentence, full stop.
Yep.
And additionally, do not whistle at people.
Does that happen a lot inside the studio? Inside the
brothel?
Yeah.
Not typically, but
but it happens every now and then.
Yeah, it definitely happens every now and again. And the other weekend, I had someone whistle at me. I was like doing my paperwork. I was about to walk upstairs for a booking, and this guy over the other side of the room whistles at me. And so I turn around. I'm not in the mood, and I say, "You whistle at me one more time, I will put you on a leash and walk you myself."
Please tell me he did it again.
No.
Damn it.
No, he was like, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that." And everyone looks at him.
Yeah.
And they look at me.
That cut like the ice. The room goes from like warm to just straight up cold.
Yeah, no, he was.
Oh, mate, Maxine has dropped the hammer.
He was
you
real.
Dog.
He was real remorseful after that.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's weird. Was he drunk?
I have no idea. I was going upstairs.
You know what?
I was
if
in
you're
the
stone
middle.
cold sober and you wolf whistling, cat whistling is the same thing.
Whatever it is.
I feel like you either need to be on a construction site or in 1975. Because in like 2023 to like, 75. It probably happened in the 70s.
Yeah.
It would have happened in the 70s for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen Disco?
No.
It was not very, I guess, Studio 54 was fairly... I digress.
All right. We're concentrating.
No more wolf whistling.
Don't wolf whistle, and like if you're gonna go into a brothel, just be nice.
Yeah, I think in general, I do wish we had like a contrast, because you don't really go out too much
Ever.
But I do remember talking to a few friends, kind of walking through like the city, and it will happen on construction sites still.
Yeah.
Because you've got like that, they've got the fence where it's kind of hidden.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird that there's like the pockets of like the pack mentality sort of dude.
Oh yeah.
But old mate was rogue. He was in there on his own, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he was just here there on his own. But like it happens like in the street. I don't know. Like I'll be out running or something.
Oh, like actually, you definitely.
It's a common occurrence.
Shit.
Yeah. It's the 21st century.
Oh man, are they older?
Anyone. I have like flat out like been running. Someone will do it to me, and I will stop in my tracks and just stare at them.
You know what I will say as a bit of counterbalance to that for you?
Mm-hmm.
As a fat man running, all you get is yelled at when you're running. So, look, I'd take a cat call over the general belligerence of a fat guy running in the rain. It happened once.
I think that that is a bold statement to make from the other side of the fence.
Yeah. No, definitely. And it's for the gag.
Because
but it does show a contrast to differing factors in life. Like you're literally just living, and then I'm trying to not be a fat mess, and like the audience is like, "What are you doing, you fat idiot?" It's like it's wet. Okay, I'm still trying to run. Got to get those calories down. You know what I mean, or burn them up rather. And then you're just existing and getting the hello friend.
Being like, "Hey baby, where are you going? Where are you running to?" I'm like, "Yeah, suck my left flap."
But see, that's what they want. That's what the wolf whistle was for. It's a cat call, a wolf whistle. I got it. Finally got there in the end.
$50.
$50. That is the going rate for any sort of general conversation.
Yeah, that's the new title.
Like so. I want you to one day have that book written, self-titled.
I'm gonna write something
by Maxine.
Maxine, I really want to know. You
need a fake last name.
I really do, because a lot of sex workers have a first and last name. I actually don't know what the last name will be. I was thinking Spice.
Nah.
No? I don't know.
You can't be like, go real-ish with it. So like they're kind of like, oh, is that her real actual name? Is she that spicy?
Okay, I really need feedback.
Yeah, so if
Please
anyone's
help
listening
me.
in, we're next week's podcast is deciding a last name for Maxine.
Yes, please give me a last name. I'm not creative.
But look, I want to ask you actually a general question. Since the last podcast, how has work been? And I know you said there's some listeners or some of your clients that have listened, but have you had any listeners come in to work?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
No, so no one's been upfront about it.
No one has
Be
come
honest,
in.
guys.
Be honest. Like, come on, guys. However, he is flat out my favorite client.
Aw.
Yes.
Can you give him a fake name for future reference? Eduardo.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go,
I like it.
Eduardo.
I'm putting that in the notes too.
He knows exactly who he is rather.
I hope he likes the name Eduardo.
You know exactly who you are because I know you're going to be listening to this.
My man.
Because I have told him about it. He has listened to the episodes that I've been on.
Yep.
And he is the kind of person that everyone wants to see.
Ah.
He brought me chocolates last weekend.
No shit.
And not like Haig's chocolate.
Oh, fancy pants.
Nice chocolate.
What else does Eduardo do that I guess you could put out there to any guys that are, you know, they frequent the establishments and stuff and it's like, you know what, I want to get a better experience. Things that feel a bit transactional at this point.
Honestly, treat me like a normal person.
It sounds so basic, but
it's the bare minimum. But like we talk a lot, we engage, and we're on the same level about a lot of things. He is the dream person. He has, I think we've like been seeing each other for like a year.
Hey, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
How frequent?
It really depends on like availabilities for the both of us.
Yeah, fair. Because it isn't like a sort of there every week type deal, is it?
Yeah, like there's a weekend this month that I'll be taking off, or I don't know, maybe he's away. You know, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
Is
that fairly common? Like, do most of the girls rotate in and out? It's like not a week in, week out sort of deal?
Most of the workers are pretty consistent, the ones that I interact with, at least. But again, it's not really my business to ask.
Yeah.
I just ask,
you just see with what we got in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Eduardo.
Yeah, fucking oath. It's the best pseudonym ever. I want that.
Yes. Everyone wants someone like him. He's a good egg, and I know he's going to be listening because I'm going to tell him to.
Yeah,
and he will. And bless his beautiful heart, he is going to make a good wife. A
waifu. And Eduardo, if you want to listen to some other episodes, mate, feel free to email into the podcast at relevant.platitudes@gmail.com. And we can pose any questions you want to Maxine in the future for anything that you want as not Eduardo. Sometimes as Eduardo. Possibly we can set, if you don't like the name, we can change that for you as well.
I'll ask him next time I see him.
But I guess, look, what I wanted to do today is I wanted to kind of open it up, I guess, to us so we can just talk about kind of how we feel things are at the moment with dating and stuff. I guess, look, we're both kind of out of that circuit for the minute. But I guess, how did you feel coming out of COVID going into, when did you kind of start dating properly?
It took me a bit.
Yeah.
Because I was in a relationship kind of towards the end of COVID with, like as I've mentioned previously, with that relationship where like we got out of COVID, it was the discussion about going back to work or not. We decided it wasn't for us.
So, yeah, because work completely shut down for you guys, 100%. Yep.
And so, we decided not for us, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then...
Because you've said quite often you couldn't personally date a sex worker. No. And that's why our Lord and Saviour, Sir M. Christ Shyamalan, is one of the loveliest humans I've ever met in my life.
I know.
But yeah, so you've kind of come out of COVID, you've gone into that, and then you're thrust back into the pre-Mitch era, right? How was your experience? Were you app dating? Were you hanging out? Because you're a bit of a homebody, so you wouldn't have been fucking trawling clubs and pubs. Because do you ever go out, like, to have a drink or whatever?
No.
Yeah. It's my email from Manchester City, the boys.
No, I don't typically go out. And also because I have 2 jobs. I work at the clinic during the week and then I work during the weekends. I don't get out a lot. But yeah, like kind of right after COVID, which is so opposite to my mindset now. If I was single today, I would not fuck for free.
What do you mean? Tell me. I'm intrigued. She's pulled this one out of left field, team. This is we haven't discussed this at all.
Like as a worker, I just wouldn't touch. I just wouldn't fuck for free. I don't know.
So by that, do you mean that based on the current dating scenario, say that relationship's ended, you did have the sex worker past then.
Yeah.
You wouldn't date.
You
just wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it. I would just because.
Yeah, no, you're fine. That doesn't know audio. It's fine.
So I just wouldn't get into the dating scene. I just wouldn't be willing to waste my physical and emotional labor.
What to you was pushing you away from it?
For
For me, it was how throwaway the interactions are.
Yeah, the emotional labor of it all.
Because it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of investment.
Yeah.
You know, you match with someone, things are vibing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it gets to that weird point where you're like, okay, for me, and I think it happens as you get older, you don't want to spend fucking 7 years talking to someone on a dating app.
No.
And then have that transition into an awkward coffee date.
No, and also because, you know, sex workers, we don't have the best reputation for dating.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't. We just really don't. Like, number one, because, you know, what we've spoken about previously in terms of it being...
No, it was fine. It's fine. That'll
like,
be perfect.
romanticized or, like, put into these categories of, you know, being...
It's just harder to date as a sex worker.
It really is. Yeah. And also, like people are, like, either, like, you know,
Fetishizing you? Yep.
I can't say that word.
Okay.
Fetishizing.
Is that the Dutch? Fetishizing. That's German. I don't even have any German grabs. Fetishizing.
That word. Doing.
Fun fact to everyone listening at home: English isn't Clara's first language. You have like an Aussie twang. Fucking shit. Fuck. It's all right. There's gonna be when we listen to it again, just come through and you'd be like, timestamp here, timestamp here, timestamp here.
Look, honestly,
the whole one person listening right now is going to be fine. They'll forget.
Who are they?
It's Blue Goat.
Be my sugar daddy.
Fetishizing.
Yes.
Maxine.
Yeah. So either they're doing that, or they're like willing to test the waters, which is like probably that they don't like it, or they're just like.
How do you find with someone testing the boundaries and stuff? Because I feel like you're not the kind of person that's very standoffish with what you do for work. So people know pretty quickly
they know
what you do.
Yeah, they know immediately, pretty much.
So you think like, yeah, I'm going to fuck like a fucking sex worker and it's be fucking hot and then I'm out.
Yeah.
How do you weed out like dudes that are just trying to tick that off the list?
I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've like done that kind of thing, but...
Is it very obvious if that's going to be...
It is a little bit, but from the top of my head, I can't say for certain what it is. It's just kind of like...
A vibe?
Yeah, like they'll just ask you those questions.
Oh, no shit. So there's very leading questions that are going to be like...
Those stupid questions.
Okay. Yeah.
That you just get asked and you're like, oh, wow, never heard that before.
So there's like, I guess it kind of sucks that things always end up falling into an interview style thing when you have certain careers, when you do like certain things.
Yeah.
And I guess, that is that trade-off. Like the only thing that would kind of force you to change it would be to almost not say that straight away. And then you kind of fall into that space of like, oh man. So like people can use that as an excuse for feeling like cheated or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's hard to convey, be like, well, dude, if I said that straight away, you would just enter this laundry list of the same questions that every guy asks before you.
And I'm not an untruthful person. And, you know, because if I were in the opposite position, I would feel deeply uncomfortable and, you know, potentially a bit betrayed.
Yeah.
I do want that honesty, and I want that, to be upfront. So if I were in their position, I would want that to be completely honest, not only for an emotional risk, but for a physical risk.
Well, I think it's the foundation to any sort of honesty. Like, you need that basis where everything's on the same playing field and you get where everyone's coming from.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Because, again, sex workers are not known for their healthy relationships, but also it's the
present company excluded. I think you are fucking kicking massive goals.
Thank you. I am trying so hard.
No,
but I am
doing so well. This podcast is incredibly proud of you. You're doing fucking fantastic. And I guess that shows to everyone listening out there that it's like the things that we think we fall into with stigmas and sort of over dramatized issues that you can have by doing a certain job and being in certain fields. Like, IT guys are necessarily, inherently boring, right? I feel like I'm not that boring.
You're not.
So it's that thing of like, don't let yourself become the norm if you're in those sorts of situations.
Yeah.
And it's trial. It's like a kind of like a trial and error sort of scenario. But you failed your way into success, my friend.
I did. I got so lucky with a stupid little
the best
boy.
Sort of Warhammery type human that I've ever met in my life. And I've actually got a fun game that we're going to play. I'm going to grab my phone. We're going to play Ask the Internet. Because I just realized that's what I wanted to do and didn't put it in the show notes. Yes, we can totally cut. Yeah, go pee and I'll get my phone. And
I've just set my mic up really well.
No, that's fine. Let's just do that. And we're back. How was the pee break, bro?
I lost 1 kilo.
And we managed to fix all the microphone situation. Nothing's moving.
Nothing is slouching.
Only took us 45 minutes for us to resolve that. But so we're going to play Ask the Internet. You have a bunch of categories. You have 16 questions, which are random.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Best of the Deck, Dating and Relationships, Philosophy 101, the one I'm going to force you to pick, which is sex. This week on ATI, which I'm guessing they pick it, Throwback Thursday, TV, movies. We're just going to go to sex.
Sex,
it's a relationships podcast.
Sex.
Stop playing. Okay, ready? Answer the Internet. Would you have sex with hot Siamese twins and your best friend?
No.
Agreed.
No.
I feel like that's an entirely...
I feel like siblings...
Although... No. So like, because it would be with a friend, so it's like a paired off scenario, not...
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about siblings that is real incesty, and I can't look past
so the guy vibe is like, it's very much like a checkbox. So I think I can speak for most of you that I'd be in. That'd be fine.
I don't know. I feel like that's very questionable. I feel like that's a reflection on yourself.
100%.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
weird.
I agree.
That's
Concur.
weird.
That's weird. There's no kink shaming on this podcast.
Yeah, there's no kink shaming, but you know who's kink shame more on this podcast than myself?
Who?
You.
I do, don't I? I do.
You 100% do.
I love how you're like, my being a piece of shit is not as bad because you're a bigger piece of shit. Next question. Girls, how big is too big and how small is too small?
I do have a story.
Please, take the floor.
So I don't know if I feel bad about sharing this.
Yep.
However, so I was at work and this almighty Maori guy.
I've heard they have inherently really small dicks.
It was micro.
Yeah. So I don't. It's just a genetic trait because they're so big. They have really small dicks. Yeah. You're not the only one. It's not unheard of.
I was so surprised.
Yeah.
It was like I've been there and I've done that, which is, I've had like no.
How'd you manage it?
With 2 fingers.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was like, he was not, he was really good about it. Like he didn't really, like we didn't mention it. It was fine. But I was so surprised because he was about a foot taller than me. And it was just like, yeah, you just got to do it this way. And like, that feels good. And this works. And I was like, okay, yeah, right. I was not expecting this. I was expecting it to be a lot more climactic.
Yeah, so I guess, but have you had an experience where, like, I guess that sort of dude is normal? Or is it... Because what I've heard is that most of them have not big penises.
I don't know. This sticks out in my mind, and not a lot of things stick out in my mind when I'm at work.
This has stayed with you for time.
It has, because, you know, unless you're like super memorable or like in like a really good or a really bad way.
If you got a quirk, effectively, is how you... Yeah.
If you got a really good quirk or a really bad quirk, you will stick
Just
out.
have a quirk, motherfucker, and I'll remember you.
This was not a good or a bad quirk. It was just a thing where I was like, wow, I just really did not see this happening. I really didn't. So... that was not like nothing even like happened in terms of like nothing went inside me.
Yeah, no, because I don't think that actually could at that point. Like,
no, it really didn't. And in terms
how do you work a scenario with a dude with micro penis? Everyone's going to be thinking that question.
Well,
what happened?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
It was all
like a really weird hand job. Like
it was a hand job in the terms of like my index finger and my thumb.
Yeah.
This is my next finger.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Index finger and my thumb. Occasionally, like, you know, in terms of like just like the tips of the finger.
Did it get any bigger hard?
No.
Just stayed the same.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's shit, dude.
I mean, he enjoyed himself. Like,
no, of course, because that's the you know, the cross that he has to bear.
Yeah, like I feel like he did a pretty bang up job in terms of my services. He was into it. Everything was climactic for him. It was fine. I was just a bit shocked.
Yeah, well, it's a lot to take back. I'm guessing that was your first micro penis.
Yeah.
That's probably why it stuck with you too.
Yeah. Because he was super nice as well. Like everything was like cool. Like he was very nice to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
And everything was fine. I was just very taken aback that I was like,
you're so large. Why is it such a small penis?
Yeah. He was like a good 120 kilos of pure person.
Muscle. But that's, you know, we're not, no, you know what? It's a PSA. Marriers might not have big dicks.
Yeah, and...
Be prepared.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you. We're telling you here at Platitudes.
The point of it is that he was nice.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And it was a great experience because he was a decent dude.
Yeah, and that is, I can't, you know, emphasize that enough, despite what it was, is that he was nice.
Yeah, so it was fun for everyone.
It was fun for everybody.
Are you ready for the next knee-buckling question from Ask the Internet?
Mm-hmm.
Would you fuck the hottest person from your high school even if they were hideous today? I'll go first and say no.
No.
I went and revisited that probably about 5 to 7 years ago. Like I was like, oh, you know what? Let's see what everyone's doing from high school. I'm single, whatever. Time to slide in some DMs. And I tell you what, it was not good.
People haven't aged well.
But you know what? I think it was more that I think when your pool of humanity is so small as a kid, I think what's hot when you're 18 isn't hot when you're 25, 28.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a scale and you're like, oh, I didn't know one in high school was hot.
Yeah. I mean, like, as you know, I grew up in a really small country town and I have looked back on like who I had a crush on.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what their name was, but I...
Rough, dude. Savage, bitch.
I thought that this guy was
How do you not know your crush's name?
I don't know. Maybe it was Ryan.
Maybe, or was it Ryan? Mine was Julie.
I'm like 75%
That's okay.
sure it was Ryan.
We've evolved somehow, jettisoned childhood memories to the dust.
His name was Ryan.
Ryan and Eduardo in the house.
At least I know Eduardo's real name.
That's true. This is true.
I mean, what he's told me.
Yeah.
And I give him the benefit of the doubt. And if it's not, I respect you enough. Anyway, Ryan's, he was like, I was like in awe of this boy. And, you know, in hindsight, in year 12, he drilled holes in his spoiler to make his car sound better.
No.
And at the time I was like, oh yeah.
You just lost cool points, man.
Look, man.
Look, to be fair, it was probably the fact that he had a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
so I get
probably
it. I get
sold
it.
weed, and me
Yeah.
at
That's
bloody
fair.
in high school, I was a fiend.
Fiend for what?
I was a fiend for anything that would make me not sober. I would go like,
oh no shit. So
yeah.
you're quite an advanced teen.
I was a degenerate. I was 15.
We've never touched on this.
Really?
Ever. Explain.
All right. So I was unsupervised
Yeah.
from about 15 onwards.
Jesus Christ.
And so I was 15 and I had an 18-year-old boyfriend, and I thought that I was the coolest shit ever.
You know, like inherently looking backwards, I don't like, especially now, I think it's way safer for girls to avoid dating really old guys. But the trope of like young girls dating guys in high school with cars was normal.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to now take like just a temperature check to see if that's still not weird with how woke the younger generations are. That's fucking unsafe. That's an adult with a child, like a young adult, don't get me wrong, but
in the eyes of the law, this was statutory rape for me.
yeah, for sure.
And, you know, it wasn't. Like, it was all...
No,
I want to preface this to all of the humble listeners at home. This was consensual. We were...
This was 2002, motherfucker. It was all good.
Yeah, probably. Like, we were in love and, you know, it was... I thought I knew what I was doing. And
Every lawyer that listens, and there's a few, are like, that's still illegal.
yeah,
it's
look,
fine.
we were fine. And, you know, to whoever it is, he doesn't like me, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But this was so normal, and so, you know, we drank a lot and we smoked a lot.
There's so much that you worried about saying your name. We should probably go on to the next question. Ready?
I'm so ready.
All right. And this is an interesting one because I want like a work question and I want a personal question.
Okay.
You ready? I think I know the work answer to this. How honest is your feedback on blowjobs / oral sex? With work, I feel like it's a sales pitch, right?
Like feedback that I get?
Do dudes pay to eat ox?
People pay to go down on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how honest is the feedback for that?
That I give to them?
Yes. It's a sales pitch, right?
It's a sales pitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
like with some people,
And I guess we'll preface this to our partners with all things that we're saying now is prior to our current relationships.
yeah.
Thank you very
So like it depends. If I have been seeing someone for a bit and we have really good rapport, potentially like Eduardo.
Yeah.
We have that more.
Yeah, you'd be like, this is happening a bit, so I'll
like,
give you some stuff to
like
step that shit up.
Yeah, if I know that like he's booked me.
Personal life.
I
You feel like you're more worried to give feedback. Because as a dude, it's like you're like, I mean, you don't want to embarrass anyone. Like, this is fantastic already. So what's happening is like, cool. Like it's all good.
I have gotten some comments about the way that I look in the nether region.
Yeah. Good or bad?
I've been told it's magical.
Yeah. So you have a good looking vagina. That's fine.
I've been told it's textbook.
So you have porn star vagina is what they're trying to say. Yeah.
And like when I first heard that, I was like, thank you.
Yeah. No, it's good. But if it's consistent, then you know it's reality, right?
Yeah, it was very consistent. And then I got told it was magical, and I was like, I don't know what that means either, but I'm going to take it as compliment.
So say when you're receiving from a partner, how honest are you? Personal life. Prior to this current relationship.
Prior to this current relationship, I will do what keeps me.
I was always very honest because I feel like it's not worth doing it if. Like, because it's different where, like, I like positive feedback, so it was okay for me to give positive feedback, and I just kind of fell into it, and then I realized it was okay.
It really depends because I have a very promiscuous past, and so if I am doing a one night stand, I will. You're
like just whatevs, dog. Like, get this done and get the fuck out.
Yeah, like take it, whatever it is. I am there for my personal validation. Get in, and I have actually just like done the deed and been like, okay, I'm going to sleep now. I think you need to leave.
Straight to the door.
Yeah, straight
I
to
like
the door.
it. No cuddles.
Yeah.
Out of here.
No.
All right.
You know, that's just the way that I have done things in my life, which is fine. That's just the way I rolled.
Maxine's a cold bitch. Homies. I was going to say humans, but either way.
Peace, pout,
All right,
Girl
ready?
Scout.
What do you do if you fart in the middle of sex? As a dude, you pretend like it didn't happen and move on. Next question.
No, I mean,
Girls don't fart.
They
don't fart.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Yeah.
No. I don't think. I mean, there's definitely the queef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had girls fart.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a lot of.
She didn't acknowledge it at all.
Did it stink though?
No, it didn't. But it was loud as fuck.
See, I'd like to think of myself as like this might get a bit graphic.
That's fine. We're at that point in the pod now. So
we
it's
really
okay.
are.
Yeah.
So I like to think of myself as like the phantom farter and pooper.
Yeah, because girls don't fart or poop ever.
Yeah, it's because we wear a G-string.
Yes.
And
yes.
so when anything comes out, it goes. It does. You get that.
I can't wait to
string in the
clip
middle.
that for sure. That's going to be the best.
That's what it does.
All right, ready? What does YWR mean? What do you reckon? Oh, yeah. So what would you rather? Ready? Be a guy with great game but a small dick, or no game but a hammer?
I want good game.
Okay. Yes. But what I would say to you is reputation precedes you. So if you have a hammer, the reputation would far outweigh any sort of game you could ever produce. Because if old mate John has a hammer, you better believe Cynthia's telling all of her friends that Johnny John has a hammer, and it's not going to matter how much bullshit he talks. I've seen it in real life. That's what happens.
I've seen it in real life. And case in quote.
Yes.
All right. So I can't remember when this was, months ago. I had a booking.
Yeah.
And this guy, I did my intro with him downstairs. He was younger than me, maybe like 24. Gorgeous guy.
Yep.
And we got along.
Not another micro penis story.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And we got along super well. And so he booked me. We went upstairs and he was well equipped, if you know what I mean.
Hammer is to the current context of the conversation.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
So like, we're ticking boxes. We got along well.
Yeah.
He was fairly attractive and he was well equipped. It was the most unenthusiastic sex.
No way.
It stands out in my mind, which is saying something.
It stands out in my mind, and I'm doing this purely for clippage, but Tom Segura Sledgehammer is currently out now on Netflix. I'm going to clip this and put this online. Make sure you go onto Netflix and watch Tom Segura Sledgehammer, Netflix. So you feel like a guy with a big dick didn't try?
No, it's not that he didn't try. He has just no idea.
Ew.
He had
we call that like
idea.
for guys, it's like the hot girl syndrome. Like you get like the super hot girl and they just turn up.
Well, he self-proclaimed. He was like, I know I'm bad at sex. I'm like, thank fuck.
Ew.
Oh God, I'm glad you know.
That's a problem.
I'm glad you know. And he's like, yeah, and I know I'm really bad at kissing. I was like, oh God, thank fuck you know that too.
I guess because he was young.
He was 25.
Ooh.
You can't tell me that you were so unenthusiastic.
No.
Like I'm talking like methodical, like on a beat.
Secret time, I'm inherently a really good kisser. But it's, I think, to be aware, it's that awkward thing. It depends on where you are in your life. Like, how do you get better if what you're doing is bad? Do you know what I mean?
The fact that he knew about it, but was so, like, I guess active enough to see a sex worker.
Next question's fantastic, by the way.
I mean, that in itself, apart from that, has a lot of questions. I was like, I don't know. This just feels I feel a bit let down.
Yes, because like you expect the Star Spangled Banners.
Yeah.
You get like.
It was like the Maori guy.
Effectively, right?
I was like, wait, what is this?
Like it's the opposite of the spectrum, but the same result.
Yeah, it was unenthusiastic and uninspiring and anticlimactic.
Well, if anything, I feel like the Maori guy was maybe better because it left you with a better vibe at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. It
You
was
heard it
more
first here on
enthusiastic.
Platitudes. Small dick over big, gargantuan hog. Are you ready for the next one? This is fantastic. Ready?
Mhm.
How would you want your girlfriend to have taken 50 inches of dick? You can divide it up into multiple dicks of varying inches, i.e. one 50-inch dick, two 25-inch dicks, 50 1-inch dicks, etc.
As many as possible.
I like that. That's empowering. But obviously, as a dude, I'm like, one 50-inch dick, so it's over.
Yeah, no,
One.
I mean,
I just wanted one and done. One and
it's
done.
experience. Because, like, think about
No,
when,
I get it.
Yeah,
but
think about
I'm
when
fantastic. You're speaking to a newly engaged man of a week. So I'm going to be like, it's different. It's going to be completely skewed. I'm like, never again.
Oh my God, someone's tainted.
No, I'm just happy. I'm happy. I don't want to think of her with other dicks.
Oh God,
It's
so
love.
nice for
it's
you.
love. Copyright strike. Let's go. All right. Oh, here we go. How long do you go down on someone without them finishing?
Not long.
No, how long do you go down on someone without them finishing? As a dude, you go down on some girls so they finish.
As going down on a girl, it's as long as it takes.
Or as long as they want.
Yeah, as long as they want, as long as it
you get
takes.
the opposites. Like some girls will want to come from head, and there's a lot of girls that don't.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, stop. Like, and you have sex.
Yeah.
But then like, dealer's choice, man.
Yeah, with guys,
Every dude wants to come through a blowjob.
No.
Really?
No.
Preach. Tell me, Queen. I want to know. I want to know.
So
these mythical beasts that don't enjoy coming from blowjobs. Tell me.
So like a lot of, yes, some guys absolutely do. They're just like, this is the greatest thing ever. But
Next question is also fire. So.
I destroy this dream for them because they want to like
the Gorilla Grip Guac 9000. You're like, whatever, leave.
No, because they like want to like. I mean, some guys want to come on my face, and I did not just spend half an hour.
Yeah. That's
doing
like a whole
the
thing.
whore face.
And you're like, you don't understand this scenario.
No.
It's not someone you date. I
don't know.
this.
Like, I just don't want that on me in general. Like, I wouldn't even want that from Mitchell. Don't come on my face. That's disgusting.
It's a no Maxine zone.
No. Oh my God. You
facial
got my
speech.
name.
I'm so scared to say it again because I don't want to edit. All you have to do is like, you have to edit this, you fucking idiot.
Edit.
I'm like, remind you that you'll have to edit every time you get it wrong.
Oh, look, so for the guy, I will do it for as long as I want to. And if they want me to do it longer, then, they're probably going to have to book me for a bit longer because your girl gets a sore jaw.
Oh, so cheeky extra booking.
But not because I'm like being greedy. It's because it's like, you can't spend.
What about personal life though?
Personal life? Mitchell and I have a very good understanding of one another because as you probably know, you're so in tune with one another.
Yeah, you have your thing you want
that you know exactly what that person wants and what you're doing, and it just works so much more organically. And so you don't really need to think, I've been doing it for X amount of time. Now is enough.
For the world's most boring answer. Next question. Do you believe in someone who says they don't know their number? This one's a trap, just so you know. Go, answer.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer this question.
No, go, honestly. And wholeheartedly with all of your being.
I mean, who knows their number?
Yeah, so this is a question that, so after me, as like a kid that never got girls, ever, like Peter Benici was like, you know what? After 15, I'm happy. And then after that, I was fine. So I never counted after that point. Because it's like a weird thing where I was like, at that point, I'm fine and this is not an issue anymore.
I did something like that.
Yeah.
When I turned 20, I decided that when I got to my age, 20, I was like, either I'm going to stop being a hoe or I'm going to just let loose. And I feel like we all know what that answer was.
No, and that's fair, yeah. But I think it is the thing of like, I would trust people that are telling you their number because they've counted.
Yeah.
And it's more like, I feel like people are having conversations where they're like, I just don't count. And you should trust them that they don't count because there's probably a reason.
Yeah, but
You know what I
also
mean?
like, who cares?
It is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to calculate.
This next
Like,
one's quite good.
I've
They're
like,
getting pretty good.
I've thought about my numbers before I started sex work. I think that my number was like probably in like the early hundreds.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've calculated like on average, perhaps per weekend, I will sleep with about 3 to 4 people per weekend.
Yeah.
So I have, multiplied that by the amount of months and years that I've been in the sex industry. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in so far.
But I think even sex work aside, it's the very same ideal of once you're past a certain age dating, you're in so far that it doesn't matter. It's part of dating. It's like,
who cares?
Yeah. And then people end up lying less, more, whatever. Like,
who cares?
at the end of the day, you can tell if someone hasn't slept with a lot of people because the quality of sex isn't usually as good.
Yeah.
And then if it's really good, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just enjoy it. Don't externalize what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't think there's some sort of weird thing going on because the person you're fucking is really good at sex. Like
for Mitchell and I, we've asked each other like jokingly, being like, oh, what's your body count?
Yeah.
And
ironically enough, we've never I don't care. Like,
oh no, I don't either. He's
the
told
lady
me,
I have is the lady I have.
Yeah, like
You know?
Mitchell's told me like the whatever number it is, and I'm like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. But
Cool.
that's because it's like it shouldn't change the
It
interaction.
doesn't change anything, no.
You ready for the next one? This one's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it creepy to masturbate in bed if the other person turns you down? I think so. I think it's a bit weird. How do you feel about it? I think it's a bit weird.
I think that's a bit weird.
It's the old I've actually got the grab for it. It's literally like I would see it as
oh no.
I would see it as that. It's like a hello darkness, my old friend sort of deal.
I feel like it's a bit weird, but potentially if you have a conversation about it.
But I think it just have another conversation other than the fact that you can
like, I don't feel like it. Or I'm not well, or whatever it is, then
I think
I don't know.
Like
to me, if my partner comes to me like I'm in the mood and he's not, I'm like, I'm so turned off right now.
Yes. That's actually great point. I think that is the biggest thing is like it's a bit much if they're like, that's okay, I'm still feeling this way, because you should be feeling a bit rejected.
Yeah, if he's not turned on and it's not into it, I'm like, I am so not into it.
Okay, this one I don't quite know the answer for, but I feel like please save me because it's a good question. What's the weirdest thing you've said to a person in the middle of sex? Do you have anything off the cuff?
Oh, God. Yeah, are we talking work or personal life? Or
Funniest
either?
answer.
Funniest answer. I mean, I've laughed in someone's face.
That's not saying something.
No,
though.
I mean, I guess not. Jesus. Okay. I don't know if this is, I mean, maybe this is just embarrassing and more of a reflection on me because I ended up dating this person.
Okay.
So the condom broke.
Yes.
And he was like, oh, but you can pee the condom out afterwards, right? And I was like, you're an idiot.
That's not how it works.
And
That's not how it works, my
and
friend.
I was like, are you okay?
That's pretty good.
Like, are you all right?
That takes the cake.
Yeah, you okay? And he was like, yeah, but you can just pee it out. I was like, what?
I've actually just thought of my one.
Okay,
also,
yeah,
at the same time.
so keen.
So, 'twas the first time that a banjo string had snapped as a young man. And so obviously there's blood everywhere. And I was literally like, you feel like something's wrong. I'm like, guess you just got your period. She's like, I'm not even close. I'm like, well, stranger things have happened. And I remember going to the toilet afterwards and being like, oh, that's me. And then being like, I'm a dickhead. I'm like, because you just didn't think, like, as a dude, when it doesn't happen, you don't fully get it. And then afterwards, you fully understand it. You're like, that's what happened.
But doesn't that hurt?
Not really.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of fine. It was just uncomfortable, but like sometimes, you know what I mean? Like during sex, there's multiple things that are uncomfortable. I was like, eh. And then when you went after, it was like, ew, me.
Oh, God.
But
I just imagined something snapping.
no, it's not like that at all. It's like a weird, think of it as like a muscle tear.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, but it was fine.
Okay, all right, all right.
Okay, so I don't know if this one's good. We're going to read it off the cuff. Ready? If you were getting into bed with a smoke show and they had no, that's boring. That was a dumb one. It's about someone having a cutout of themselves in their bedroom. You would just leave because it's weird.
That's weird.
Okay, here's a good one. If you break someone's bed during sex, are you responsible to pay for it?
No.
No, that is a cheap bed. And or you're amazing and thank you for the memory.
And also, it's both of you. You're both breaking the bed.
Yeah, fair.
You're both breaking the... I have done
but
that.
Then you could argue that it's 50-50.
Yeah.
But I would say enjoy the memory.
It's your bed.
Figure it out.
Like, I've done that. We've broken the bed.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather hook up with the hottest person in high school and become super popular, or fuck the ugly loser who goes on to become an A-list celebrity in the future?
Jesus.
I would say the latter because most people that peaked in high school tend to be douchebags when they grow up.
Yeah, the ugly duckling syndrome.
It adds more to your life story if you're like dating around and you're like, actually Jeff Bezos is like a solid dude.
Yeah.
Or Sofia Vergara is like fantastically amazing, but in high school she looked like shit.
I mean, I was an ugly duckling in high school. I was also like a feral kid. So
all right, so we'll do two more and then we will get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, how long have we been going for?
No, because we had the break, so I was like, I'm going to compress this down and I have to edit all your shit out too. So I need as much in the tank as we can. My shit about your shit. Okay. As a female, how long do you have to wait before you slip a finger up the bum?
See, that is a great question. And I want everyone to pay attention to this. And I'm looking directly into the camera for this one. Everyone needs to consent. As someone who has had fingers slip-
I'm so glad that was the questions. Moving on.
No, not moving on.
No, you're good. You're good. Explain it. Explain it. I'll find the next one.
As someone who has had many fingers slip into my butthole without my consent.
But the question was, as a female.
Well, I'm saying.
Yeah. No, but I'm just clarifying.
So, if I was to slip my finger up someone's butthole without asking.
Motherfucker, you got to check first.
You need to ask. If someone was like, I want you to slip your finger into my butthole, I want a conversation about it. I want to know if you've cleaned.
Ooh.
I want to be able to know that you're okay with it, because number one, I'm not okay with it unless we're having a conversation about it. And this is purely and only in a romantic relationship.
Yes.
If it's a client, no go. But as someone who's had that happen multiple times without asking me,
it's brutal.
You need
that's
to
fucked.
ask.
Yeah, that is
so
the R word.
Yes.
Definitely the R word.
We're going for the R word. It's R-rated. Parentals, go fetch your children, hide your kids, hide your wife.
That one's questions are good for us. I'm trying to find a really, really good one to end on.
I feel like that was a pretty good one. It's all about consent.
This one's lame.
My dear, sweet summer children.
You know what? We can use this one and... no. It's
about...
Oh. They've got like heaps. They're just kind of... a lot of them are a lot of dudes that don't probably get laid often. I think a lot of them.
Everyone just needs to know about sex. Go see a sexologist. Go see
we actually had one on the podcast, and I'll bring her back on. You get to interview her.
Me?
Quite fun. Yeah, fucking oath.
Oh no, I think I would pee my pants.
Switched on. No. She's got to come down. She lives in Geelong. Okay, interesting one. Seeing as we've spoken about consent, but I don't know if I want to use it because it's the last one. I want the last one to be really good. Because that one's more of a philosophical thing. I want this one to be funny.
I can make anything.
Oh, okay, he's good. No, because we're just going to say you have to talk about it and there's consent and all that sort of dumb shit. All right.
That's shocking, isn't it, though, that you just need to talk about sex?
Well, this is the sex category.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you
But that's the thing. Whoever thought that you might need to talk about sex?
Oh no, I
before
see
you
what
do
you're
it?
saying. I was like, no, just so you know, we picked a sex category. So
You
all
picked
these
the
questions.
sex category. Who thought? Let's talk about sex, baby.
No, these are all. Actually, no, a lot of them aren't actually like legit to ask anymore.
Legit to ask.
Oh, okay. If you had the ability to have sex with anyone, but they will get cancer right after, do you take yourself off the market or just kill people?
I'd kill people.
Same. It becomes a bloodbath at that point.
It would. I have a list.
Because, like, think about it as if you didn't have sex with people, then you would get cancer.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if the powers to be have willed you.
If I'm
to
going to
not
die, I'm not going to die in vain.
Correct.
And I will die
Giving it a red hot go.
doing
That's
what
so
I
brutal
love.
if you think about it. Like, imagine if you get like fucking 30 people deep and that's when the run ends.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You've got like a week period and then it's like you're done.
Yeah. If my cancer is contagious, I'm coming for
Duff
you.
Gardens, hurrah!
Yeah. I'm coming for you and your ancestors and your children and your mum and your dad and your
So
grandfather.
you'd be fine because you just live infinitely through work.
Well, yeah.
That's
like,
cheating. So you can't work anymore.
No.
You have to do this. It's like OG style.
Fuck that shit.
So, but would it change your outcome? Because
No.
I would be like, yeah, I would 100% be
Well,
like,
you see, I'm at the prime age of 29 where I can fuck
ooh.
you, your
You know
mum,
what we've
your dad, or
overlooked,
your
though?
grandfather.
We've overlooked that you could just take yourself out of the market and then kind of reevaluate and then maybe dip back in later. Maybe we were a bit...
You're being too philosophical. I'm trying to kill people.
Yeah. I was like, maybe we were a bit rambunctious to jump straight in and be like, everyone gets cancer.
Look, you only live once, thank
With
God.
a 50% statistical chance of that happening, I feel like maybe we're not the worst people in the world thinking that.
50-50.
Exactly. And we'll leave you that with this week's episode of Irrelevant Platitudes. I'm your host, Peter Benici, and this is...
Maxine, we got my name right.
Maxine!
Yay!
What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting. The car's cold. Get
Get the fuck out of here! What? Fucking warm it up. Get out of here!
All right.
You're the man. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Thanks for listening to Irrelevant Platitudes.
This is actually delightful.
I can't finish the whole thing.
That's so nice.
It's very sugary.
Mm-hmm.